Hey, how's it going, Micah? My name is Jack here with Mr. and Mrs. Leads. Thanks for trying out the Site Auditor. I hope you got some insight out of that. I wanted to follow up here and do a video analysis of your website and to provide some further insight in terms of your SEO as a search marketer and to show you what's potentially out there and how we would help you rank for those keywords if we were to tackle this project down together. Now, you are a web design company, and I do recognize that. And we both know that it's not enough, unfortunately, nowadays to just make a nice looking website. There's a lot of other things in the back end in terms of SEO that's necessary in order for us to help our clients in terms of um, bringing in traffic. So basically, now that we've built out this nice house and nice looking website, we need to make sure that it's in front of people and for people to actually check it out. And that's essentially what our job is, which aligns right along with exactly what you do because once you've built that website out, we can absolutely help people get more traffic. That's essentially what we want to do with your website as well. So I pulled up your website here in one of our tools called Ahrefs. Ahrefs allows search marketers like myself to look at the metrics of a website. And what I can see right off the bat is you just don't have enough backlinks or referring domains or any really that are being tracked by Google right now. Maybe you're doing a little bit of cloaking or what have you, but right now you just don't show up for any backlinks and referring domains. This is an issue because the number of backlinks and referring domains that point back to your website is a part of Google's algorithm in terms of authority, and that in turn affects how highly you rank for the keywords you want to rank for, as well as how quickly you rank for those keywords. And so, in case you didn't know what a backlink or referring domain is, Micah, it's basically any website out there on the internet that links back to your website by a hyperlink. So, if there is a blog out there that's called the webdesignblog.com, and they mention your website in the blog post, and they say, "Hey, if you're looking for the best Oklahoma web design company, check out mywebteam.net," right? And if the person clicked on the link, it would take them directly to your website. So the fact that the blog made a post and they had a link to your website is tracked by Google, and they use that information to determine how trustworthy your website is, how authoritative your website is, right? And that affects your rankings. And so what we need to do is we need to make sure that we have more referring domains, more backlinks than you're at right now, because if you don't have enough referring domains and backlinks, you're just not going to be able to rank for all the keywords you want to go after. Unless there's basically virtually no competition out there for this kind of thing, you're just not going to be able to rank for all the keywords that we want to capture. So we'll help you with that. We'll make sure that we start linking back to your website because that's going to help build the authority on your website. And then we'll do a bunch of other things as well in terms of your on-page and off-page SEO. So what I did was I typed, this one's not going to work. I typed in Oklahoma web design into our Keywords Explorer tool and could to kind of try and see what kind of keywords that we could potentially grab. So you can see Oklahoma web design is actually a pretty decent one that you can capture. Now, the reason why I added Oklahoma on here is because if you were trying to rank just for the phrase web design, it would be extremely, extremely difficult for you to rank for that kind of thing because there are just so many established websites out there that already rank for that keyword and that have already put in like tens, even hundreds of thousands of manpower and marketing budget into their SEO. And so it'd be very difficult for you to rank for that, but we can work around your competition by ranking you for your local area, right? So anything that's related to Oklahoma, that kind of thing. And I actually, even in your keyword, you said Oklahoma web development. So I have a feeling you understand what I mean by this. But yeah, so some of the keywords that we want to capture are things like Oklahoma web design, Oklahoma City web design, Oklahoma City web design companies, this kind of thing for sure. And so we would absolutely help you rank for these kinds of keywords. The methodology as to how we would go and rank you for this kind of thing is to actually build out an inner page targeting that traffic. So right now, I know that it's basically a one-page website or maybe a landing page. What we need to do, by the way, we need a picture right here of either yourselves or maybe like a generic kind of people that are behind a computer or like a computer, things like that. Because right now this is kind of no offense, but it looks a little bit amateurish just having the text right here in your home page right here without any images because it just doesn't look as professional. So that's the kind of thing that we want to do. The other thing is like if we wanted to capture some of these inner pages, so for example, if we wanted to go after web design Oklahoma City, what I would do is I would actually build out a page that specifically an inner page that specifically has this keyword in there. So web design Oklahoma City, instead of /index.php, it would say web-design Oklahoma-City, because that's how you're going to be able to get credit for that keyword, and Google's going to be able to pick up the fact that you have that keyword in your URL, and then inside that page itself, we're going to have the content that coincides with Web Design Oklahoma City. That way, Google can recognize in the URL that you're going after those keywords, and then in the content itself, you're going to be able to rank for those kinds of keywords, because that's exactly how Google understands what keyword you want to rank for. So like that's the kind of thing that we do here at Mr. and Mrs. Leads. What we do is there's really 3 parts to our SEO campaigns when we work with our clients. The first thing is to make sure that the website has all the elements that Google's looking for, and that Google knows exactly what your website is about. So that that coincides with a lot of on-page SEO stuff, whether we have to do meta descriptions, meta keywords, title descriptions, making sure there's enough content on the website. That way Google can know exactly what your website is about, right? The next thing that we do is to make sure that Google knows exactly what keywords you want to capture. A lot of websites don't really, a lot of business owners that have websites don't really understand power of actually having the keyword in an inner page or actually in your URL, as well as hashing out content in those pages. But that's really how Google nowadays understands exactly what keywords you want to capture, because it's in your URL and it's in your actual content in your page, and that's how Google's like, okay, this person wants to rank this page for this keyword, and that's the kind of thing that we would help you with. The last thing that we want to focus on is making sure that there's no negative SEO elements that's going to affect your website in terms of bringing it down with all our SEO campaign and effort. So back in the day, some of the things that used to work really well was making sure, basically keyword stuffing the website with the keyword that you want to capture. So if, for example, we wanted to capture Oklahoma City web design companies, we would layer that in the actual keyword, that exact phrase, like 15, 20 times in a matter of 500 words. And Google was able to pick that up and give you a lot of credit for that back in the day. But what Google realized was that there was a lot of companies, a lot of businesses out there that was abusing this and spamming their website with a bunch of keywords and just stuffing those keywords in their content. What Google realized was that if there's 500 words of content and 20 of the words out there is the same phrase over and over again, for example, Oklahoma City web design companies, Google realized that that's not the best way that they want to rank websites, and it just was hard to read when you have those kinds of keywords layered in so frequently in your content. And so what Google did was they made a negative SEO element, where if you added that content too many, or that keyword too many times in your content, and the ratio of the keywords that were frequently showing for the amount of content that you had would negatively actually affect your SEO. So those are the kinds of things that we want to look out for, as well as things like keyword cannibalization, where basically you have multiple pages that are trying to rank for the same keyword, and Google had to pick between which page they should give credit for. So that's the kind of thing that we want to make sure that we watch out for, and this is the kind of thing that we know produces results, because as an SEO company, we don't make money. We don't build value to our clients unless we bring them clients. So we know that this is the kind of thing that Google's looking for, and we know that ranking you at the top of Google for all these different keywords we want to capture is how we bring you leads and bring you sales and customers. And so that's the kind of thing that we focus on, and we know that there's things that Google's looking for, things that Google's not looking for, which we would help you out with, and which is exactly how partnering with us would help you with that kind of thing. Right. So I'll wrap it up here, Micah. I don't want to make it too long. I hope at the very least you got some insight out of this. I would love to talk further with you about exactly which areas you're looking to focus on, what your kind of time frame is, what your marketing budget is, and then we'll hash out a plan of attack and get going. All right, so I appreciate it again if you watched the video all the way through. I hope you have a great rest of your day and week, and I look forward to talking to you soon, all right? Thank you. Take care.